1962年に東京の下町で、家は小さい町工場でネジを作ってる工場でした。油の匂いとか機械の音とか、鉄の匂いとか、そういうことにすごい慣れ親しんで育ってきたから、なんか今こういう生活っていうのが、すごい自分の肌にしっくりきてるんじゃないかなっていうふうには思ってます。すごいイメージ的なものはあるんだけども、具体的に例えば何みたいなとか、それから何にインスパイアされるとか、そういうことはないし、絵ももちろん描かないし、なんかその時の気持ちで鉄を切ったり、身を削って作ったものなんで、もうちょっとそういう感性に訴えかけて人を飼いたい気持ちにさせるんじゃないかなとは思うけど。バイクはもちろんそのバイクそのもの単体でもかっこいい方がいいんだろうけども、お客さんが乗って初めて完結するものだから、自分にとってはもうアートっていうよりはもっと本能的な危うさとか野生味みたいなのを感じさせる、自分の中から引き出すものだと思う。こういう外観から感じるそんな荒々しい感じじゃなくて、ものすごい平和な世界で、地面も空も真っ白で区別がつかないようなところを、なんか本当に空飛んだことはないけど、なんか気持ち的にはね、そのレシプロのエンジンの飛行機で空を飛んでるような気持ちですかね。もう何とも言えない平和な感じ。
Easy. He's the only one who sees the big picture, sees the future.
This plan, if this fails, our brothers are going to be gunning for you.
I've never been afraid to swing. God help us all.
Mayans season 3, we're really rooted in realism, but there's elements that are more stylized.
I'm just excited for everyone to get to see all the heartbreak and joy and sorrow and beauty. It's dynamic this season. They've been making TV for a very, very long time. Not a lot of things have actually changed. Such a crusted over, oh boy network. Oh, you can't do that. Oh, we can't do this. Oh, we have to center punch. Like, whatever it is. And I never felt comfortable in it. I never felt part of it. She gets about here, she's gonna take off her helmet.
Elgin knows exactly what he wants, with the feeling, the tone, the visuals. And so everything this season, we've taken it to the next level.
Vanessa Joy Smith, our DP, who's just my road dog. From the look to the overall culture of the show is something that we really spent a lot of time talking about and working on together. And I say it all the time, I do not have the grammar to be of help to you. All I know is this is how I want to feel. And action. Movies and TV can change the universe. There's so many things that I've tried to express: grief, joy, beauty, pain, and that's what we're trying to do visually.
For season 3, I think that we're really rooted in the characters. You now go home with them. And so with that, we've also created looks within their home. Elgin really wanted the home environments to be very warm. So anytime we're in a space like the clubhouse or Felipe's house or anywhere where it's homey, it's warm, welcoming feeling. That's with the lighting, with the color temperature of the camera, to make it feel as though this is their space where they feel comfortable.
It's like a private invitation for the audience to come sit down and be intimate with these characters.
In the Galindo house, that was a whole nother feeling of wanting it to feel very cold so that it doesn't feel like home, because their home life is falling apart this season.
I want this to look like you found an old photograph and trying to figure out, well, how can we do that? How can you have those feelings come across? How deep can you go with the blacks? Does that do it? How can you make these different certain colors pop? Is that what does it?
Constructing the scene, everything is how you want to see it as a viewer. You're looking at it through the lens of the viewer. In that scene with Coco and Hope, we're in there with him. We're right in his face. When he looks down, the camera tilts down, and we're finding everything kind of as he's finding it. Elgin and I came together and decided on certain lighting. So a lot of our lighting is big single source lighting, and so a lot of the shadows become really deep and the light falls off into the background. We also, this season, let things live within the space. So it allows you to have really big wides. So if we're out in the desert or out with the guys riding, the space of it allows you to sit in it. And we just sit in these wides that kind of make you feel a little uncomfortable.
Elgin has a very high standard of excellence, and everything is purposeful, and everything is towards this larger artistic vision that he has.
I don't know what anybody else feels, but at least to myself, where is it where I feel this thing in my gut? And I can look at it snapshot, I can look at a frame of our show and it can break my heart.
Everything visually, whether it's through the operating or through the lighting, it's just, we've just leveled up a little bit.
But at the end of the day, you have to tap into, am I feeling goosebumps?
That's very much the look and feel of Mayans.
Somebody talk to BP. The tunnel and checkpoint play are blown.
The sound this season, like so much, is really more about getting to real emotionality. We wanted the music to reflect who these characters are.
Music always meant so much to me. I used to play, obviously, like punk rock and hardcore, like since I was a kid. I played in bands. Everything like comes back to music for me, so I have like a metronome, like the way that I write. So I have these things and it has to have this rhythm.
For Elgin, I wanted to have a rhythmic element, but that wasn't percussion and it wasn't synth. You have your idea of what the music is going to be, and then you talk to the director and come to an understanding of what the music is going to be, but then it's not until you're getting in there and seeing the images that you really feel it.
I've always wanted to work with David. Mola Padrita, his band, is one of my favorite bands. And so when I got this opportunity, it was just like, I just seized it.
Just get a unique sound, like these very low octave sounds, but with most of the low frequencies gone. The goal from talking to Elgin was definitely to bring the sense of melancholy and desperation and loss in their lives to go along with the grittiness and the toughness and the kind of badass aspects, is to really stress a lot more the emotional hardship that this life has taken on everybody. In the final product, this will be pretty low in the mix, but to me, it's still like a great starting point. It's a static thing musically, so it leaves me a lot of leeway to play piano over to kind of come up with some things and letting this kind of set the key in the mood.
He's an incredibly talented musician and just totally understands what we're trying to do.
To have an individual we can connect with on so many parts has been incredible.
I'm definitely trying to have some Western vibes, and I feel like there's a real, like, Angel of Death Western theme. We talked about having the Southwestern desert sound, but only after I started working did I start thinking in terms of having some, like, Western-type motifs, and then I started thinking of the characters more like Western archetypes. Sometimes it's more like hinting at emotions than actually being emotional. It's almost asking the viewer to look deeper. Where they're doing the run in the tunnel at Vicky's house, and then the cops show up. It's about a 6-minute sequence of full score.
Load's here. How are we looking?
We've got about 2 minutes.
It was a pretty different vibe than we were doing with the rest of the score. And I actually thought, like, I would like to try a little more of a heart racing action thing here.
Prospect, hit him up with the truck.
But I still kept all the same instrumentation that I had going on. So it was an interesting test for me to see if this was going to be a sonic palette that we could use.
It's been incredible to watch. Heartbreak and joy and sorrow, and I'm so excited about what he's done.
To this chamber I'm bound. A new king will be crowned in this beautiful wall.
That's right, folks. We do welcome audience participation. I'm Fester Jenkins. Mama Dukes isn't in the studio this evening. In the studio, though, we do have Rob from R&R.
Thank you.
Years past, you worked with Easy Riders.
Well, we raced with Easy Riders.
Okay. And
what it was is I raced my own team. I started with Tampa Bay Ray. I ended up with Gary Friel and some other people. So I was in it for 8 years, hands-on. And then I got out of it completely. And then 18 years later, they called me up and asked me if I wanted to be the field boss again. So 2 years ago, I took over that job again. So I'm tied up with that. And it's been, rodeos are great. You know, I've been doing it all my life. And it's a lot of fun. They'll find out July 24th.
I was about to say, are you going to be doing the rodeo on July 24th?
Yep, I'm going to be running the show out on the field, and I also got 2 trikes I'm bringing in and a couple of solo bikes to pull with. So I'm going to let some, friends and guests pull on the trike.
Oh, that'll be awesome.
Yeah, and I'm also going to run it down the track a couple of times because it's a lot of fun.
Well, and this evening we're going to talk about a little bit more about that Great American Moto Fest, where motorcycles, custom rods, trucks, vans, just anything that's got wheels on it.
This is an invitational event, especially because it's the first one. We want people to come out and feel comfortable trying to do some stuff in the rodeo. We're going to set the sled puller up to where it's real light. We're going to have like a 800, 1,000, 1,200 pound class bike, so you can come up with your street bike and we got some weight for you. We'll strap it to the back of the bike and you get a chance to pull the sled. And we can adjust the sled as much as we want, so we can make it easy, we can make it real hard. We'll make it easy so everybody gets a chance to feel how it is, and if they want to come back a second or third round, we can tighten it up a little bit more, and we can stop them wherever we want if we have to.
Well, that's awesome.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Now, with you working with Easy Rider and doing the rodeos and things like that, speaking of Easy Rider, we've got Dave Nichols, our very own Born to Ride editor, who did a number of years with Easy Rider. Correct, Dave?
I did. In fact, I have a great story about Rob.
Okay.
I'm excited.
I do.
Give us the dirt. Give us the dirt, well, Dave. Dirty Dave.
I want you to imagine this. Imagine that you go to an Easy Riders bike show, the wonderful custom bike shows that we used to do, and you walk in and there's hundreds of bikes to look at, beautiful choppers and stuff, right? But then you see over here in this giant hall, there's a thing that looks like someone picked up a garage and put it inside this big building, and it's got like a little A-frame, and it's got all this old memorabilia inside and old oil cans, and there's magazine memorabilia all over the walls. And there's Rob working on 2 iconic motorcycles. This is when we wanted to restore the Captain America and Billy choppers from Easy Rider, the movie.
Wow.
And so you could actually walk up to Rob, who would like have, something like, he'd have the outer primary off of one of the bikes, and his hands are all full of oil and grease, and he's trying to and you could walk up and go, "Hey, what you doing?" and he'd stop and talk to you and tell you all about the project and how he completely restored these bikes so they would be ready to take on the road for the motorcycle rodeos and the bike shows and all that stuff. And man, that was a cool deal.
That was the best job I ever had.
And man, I don't know how many people you talk to on a weekend, Rob, but man, that was cool to see those iconic choppers, and you had them all apart, and you're tinkering on them and putting them back together. Absolutely.
I got two of my trikes. We got one at Tampa Bay Race Trike, so there'll be 3 trikes there for sure, and this is a real early count. But we're setting the bikes up for solo pullers and stuff like that, so we're going to put on a real good show for him. And Tampa Bay Ray, he lives across the pond, or lives across the other side of the East Coast. He'll be here for the rodeo also. So we'll have his trike. I don't think he's going to be riding it, but it'll be here, and you get to see Ray. And the whole day is going to be so entertaining because there's somewhere over 200 street rods, hot rods, trucks, whatever you want to call them, that are going to be here also. So it's not just motorcycle rodeo. It's going to be a complete day of all kinds of stuff.
Well, now, Rob, okay, so give us a rundown of kind of what you're thinking from the activities of the rodeo, how that's going to go.
Well, probably we got a sled coming in from Zellwood, Florida. It's the Antique Florida Sled Pullers. Now, this is this transfer sled that has somebody that rides on it. It has a gear-driven box to drive it back to the starting line after we pull with it. But there's somebody on it that's a brake man, so it's real safe. But we can adjust it for a small motorcycle all the way up to a 300 horsepower tractor. And we might have some tractors here also. Probably, I told the guys instead of about 6 to 8 tractors would be fine. Yeah. The garden variety with some small Hemis in it,
right?
Like that. But we're gonna start at 9 o'clock or something like that, and then we're gonna practice. And then later that afternoon, we'll start the show, and we'll do 2 rounds. And then at the end of the day, if there's some more people who want to pull or whatever, we'll just line them up and let them keep going until it gets dark.
Okay.
We're also having a Just for Kicks contest. We're doing, which is really a cool contest now, because all the young Sportster guys all got Kickstarters on their bike, and they think Grandpa's a punk now.
Okay.
It's like, wait a minute, son. I kicked my pan head. So the Kickstart contest is really fun to see. We'll do the barrel race, which is real entertaining because anybody with a sport bike can come out and play and do that. I think Roscoe's going to be here with his outhouses, so you can do
I've heard
pull.
That outhouse pulling. Yeah,
that's a good rumor. But we're going to try to entertain everybody. When we take a break, that's when the car guys will be giving out trophies, and the bike show MCs and all that will go on. As soon as that's done, we'll go to a final round, probably like 4 or 5 o'clock, and then finish out the afternoon with the bike show, with the rodeo. And then, like I said, if people want to come out and practice or play or whatever, we'll let them go out there and try.
Now, what are some of the events in the rodeo? We talked about the barrel racing.
Well, we're going to do the weenie bike, because everybody seems to like the weenie bike contest.
Okay.
We're doing a keg push. We're going to make it where if the keg goes crazy, the guy don't have to get off the bike and chase it. We'll have somebody that can line it up for him, because we're looking for new people. So come out and try. Don't be bashful. If you want some help with trying to get something set up to pull, a solo bike's real easy. All you need is the chain drive, because belts don't last very long, and a carved up tire, so you can take an old Goodyear tire, the old Dunlop tire, and carve it up to put it on the dirt. And I can help you guys with anything like that. The smaller shops, the Harley shops, anybody who wants to get involved, we want you to come out here and try to practice. A lot of the guys with the newer bikes, they got 150, 160 horsepower, but they don't want to go out in the dirt and spin it around. So we're going to have a couple games they can play on the pavement.
Yeah, that sounds like a plan there, no doubt.
No doubt, because they'll all try something if it's easy.
Yeah.
Get them started.
Rob, can you do the slow race?
Oh yeah, the slow race will be there too. I got a list of stuff over here, but I just can't read right now.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna have the whole lineup of games.
I want to thank Rob from R&R.
R&R Cycle, 352-206-0699. Call me up if you got some questions. We'll help you get set up so you can come out and play with us.
Born to Ride is brought to you in part by 866 Law Friend. Ride safe. Ride smart. Offices in Palm Harbor.
Born to Ride.